So what exactly am I going to put on my wall today? It's going to make some of those people that watched my very first episode probably shrug their head and move on. Well, thus it is what it is. Intro, people. And as always, shouting it out if you continue to enjoy all the weird, awkward content that we do. Always remember, in this capacity, there's a thing called a subscribe button. If you hit that, then you'll get alerted to new stuff that's coming out. And plus, every time we do some stuff, whether it's my new stuff or even some of the old stuff we have done way back in September, late August, I have grown to do some different things. Hit that like, chuck the like, and throw a comment in if you do believe deep down we've done some cool stuff here. And cannot thank you enough for keeping me around this long. What do I want to do something different every now and then? First of all, old 05 Edmonton Oilers, that was the Coyote jersey that I wore in my very first episode. I got 93 likes on that and a couple bad comments. And I had to quickly erase them. My executive producer found them, got rid of them because they were being absolute dingbats. When's the last time you heard that word? It's an old school word. Dingbats, crackpots. Gen Z millennials don't know those words. They just know stuff like they just use the word trash all the time. And then when people like us, the older people, we start learning using those words, we get picked on enough. So too bad. Take it and like it. And then I get to sport my lovely Jimmy Jam hat, personalized by City Locks. Check those boys out if you want some stuff. There's actually some nice stuff you can use for man caves and all that stuff like that. But I want to throw a quick little snip for you guys. I did one on TikTok a little bit because it's not necessarily a Gen Z type of thing. Because we continue to push the envelope because we know as Gen X and boomers, we know our time, unfortunately, our time is limited very, 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 very much. But we are doing our best. We are doing our best to support the world, and this isn't Michael Jackson heal the world. Meanwhile, we got the world just basically rubbing their freaking shoulders thinking to themselves, there's no country in the world that can be the world's police like the US. We've always been that. And now going into a struggling point where we have to figure out who's going to be the next president, and this country just is more messed up. The world has never been more messed up. I remember a long time ago when it was in the 90s, we remember it was our generation that was going to take over. Now, get this, 20 some years later, we have to tell these people they're taking over. And it's looking like, it almost looks like an apocalypse from The Walking Dead. 8 billion people in the world, everybody's out for themselves. And almost 3/4 of that population are afraid to leave the house because they don't want to deal with people. They don't want to deal with other people who hate people, but they also want to deal with the Gen Z millennials. Not necessarily a lot of the millennials, but the Gen Z and the alphas who are going to take over, and those people, and the majority of them are already grabbing the world with an iron fist through YouTube and TikTok and online and internet, doing pranks and stupid idiocy and just basically doing everything in manipulation to try to take the world as it is. There's that phrase. I mean, in a way, the world is yours. It's kind of the phrase from Scarface. But I am one of those people that I can admit this. I don't want to make this a super long video, but I need your opinion, and I need some help from you people. Give me some people that you know off the top of your head that you've seen either on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even on the Twitter world. I do not have Twitter. I have Threads, and I almost am thinking of getting rid of Threads because every time I turn that on, I get some threads that are updated, but I also get a whole crap load of bots. Mostly unfortunately in the female world, that I have no idea who they are and why they even exist in the first place. So in fact, I don't know. I don't use Twitter, and Threads is hit and miss. But the kicker is, there's too many people out there, whether it was the super mega stars like Logan and Jake Paul. I lost total respect, because when somebody like Logan Paul just stands in the middle of a street and drops in a split and gets 10 million views, then we realized a handful of years down the road, well, we're trying to get this and this and that. And we realized both of those guys are actually athletically gifted. And Jake Paul is a very, very good boxer, although he's done pretty much more of these celebrity boxing matches, but he's had a couple good ones, and he's done well. I think he has one loss, I can't remember what, but he's actually not bad. He's got to start fighting real fighters. Logan Paul's not bad, but he's now proven that he can be a WWE superstar, and without question, I think he's going to flourish. He's just that athletically gifted, and I think he needed the one direction that he needed to go, and I think he found it. So I have a little bit more, not necessarily appreciation. They have their own podcast called, they do have their own, and it's one of the best ones. It's fun. I mean, there's Club Shay, the Breakfast Club, and everybody's going to have their own. But I've seen so many different types, but it's going as far as as far as seeing Jack Doherty going all off. Do you know who that kid is? Does all the internet pranks. Did anybody didn't know he's the inventor of the bottle flip? Do you guys know that? Did anybody remember that? He was like 14 or 15, 16, something like that. And then he became this big weirdo doing internet pranks. And now apparently he's got $100 million in the bank. And he was on a podcast recently wearing a $250 million watch and about a $20,000 bracelet. If I'm wrong, I don't give a rip. People like that, I don't want to say they're in the same sense as him, Bad Baby, and I don't know, TSI was up there, but I don't know. I don't think TSI's okay. But I'm losing track, and that's the one thing about GenX and Boomers. What our job is to stay current. But if we stay current, there's a Gen Z and Alpha people just looking at us from far away, being like, "You're not doing it right." We'll do it how we feel. Thank you. We appreciate it. It's our world. It's our life. But I've seen too many videos and snippets of like, well, this kid needs to be dropped and humbled. But apparently, I guess his parents were in it. Bad Baby's mother was in it. In that whole thing with Dr. Phil. Apparently his dad was in it with Dr. Phil when Jack Doherty got kicked off the stage. So I really don't know how necessarily much I want to go by, because there's too much crap going on the interweb of all these stunts, all these games, girls flashing their you know whats, and but it's almost like we kind of need a timeout, and we're never going to get one, because the clock continues to go 24/7, 365, and it's so intolerably difficult to take the next step when you know you've got people looking ahead of you, and even looking behind you, thinking, this is our world, make sure you're doing it the right way, and our way's not good enough, but our way's got us this far. It goes just as far as a limit, you know. As we get older, our limits are, we definitely have limits. Alpha and Z, and maybe a half a set of the Millennials, know they've got resources and stuff that can prolong and keep things going. I don't know what's going to happen in 2100, because I'm not going to be here. But I can assure you that we, as Gen X and Boomers and all that, stick together, stay humble, stay strong. We have to continue to put up with all of this BS that's going around, and the little snippets and whatever. Sure, it's entertaining every once in a while. But you cannot let people like Jack Doherty run this world and run America and have him gobble all this stuff up. You see all this stuff that he does, that he invented the bottle flip, which was cool at the time, but he has a thing with OnlyFans. He had a romping with the Island Boys. Good luck. And still he just keeps raking in, and apparently he's probably one of the smartest people, because it's like he did this and then he set himself up for a downfall, and it was like, all right, I'm down now, how am I going to get back up? And he found a way. He's actually an intelligent kid, and those people, I'm telling you right now, those people are the most dangerous people in the world today. They're not afraid to fail. They're not afraid to fail, because they are 5 steps ahead of everybody. And if you don't like people like them, it is a scary world to step out of the house. It's a scary world to turn your phone on or your laptop or of anything, because all you're going to see is people like him, Bad Baby, and any other internet person, whether they run on TikTok or not. Guys, I don't want to make this long video. I want to stop, because in a way I'm kind of ticked off. So guys, if there's something that that's on the interweb that you're sick of, and it's kind of like it's impossible to stop, throw a comment in, because quite honestly, I'm still trying to figure out more stuff to talk about, but I don't want to make this too long. In fact, I'm getting the out of here, because I needed to get this out. I really don't know if it's a Gen Z Millennial part 5, 6, whatever it is, but people like them, we have to keep our eyes on, because they're the ones that are going to be running our lives. They might be the ones they might be the ones that might be taking care of us in a home someday. So guys, leave a comment on what you think is the worst thing, best thing, the most evil thing going on in the internet, whatever, and throw a comment in if you know it. And we definitely need to stick together as a world, as a whole. And until then, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm just ticked off to the point that I don't even know if I want to shut the bar down. Please, in fact, though, do subscribe and hit the likes if you do want to hear more of this content, whatever. I'm tired and I want to get out of here, and see you Blooded Legends on the next one. I'm done.